I know the sun's up because it's hitting on the hill over there. I guess you can see it in the camera. You can see it better kind of where the fir trees are toward the left to center. Strip of crimson in there is really turned. Yeah, when we spin around, there, get it tipped so it shows. Not the bestest sunrise ever, but not too bad. All right, Wade, there's your taste of a sunrise this morning. And yeah, the bright spot's kind of down in that little dip in the trees. Just shows higher on the camera and shows bigger. And it's chilly this morning. It's like 38 degrees. And I didn't know it was supposed to get that cold until after the video was up last night. They start talking about down into the 30s. It's like, really? And it's supposed to be like 80 or 85 in Portland today. I think it's supposed to be 80 in Portland today, so that means we'll be probably at least 85 here. It's going to be a wonderful day. Only good thing about it I see so far is it's got a kind of a mediocre dew. It ain't real heavy, but everything's damp, just not real wet. So hey, there's a little bit more moisture. The sun comes up and evaporates it off and takes a little more with it. Oh, and look who just got up. Ruby, you are still skin and bones, sweetheart. But she wants her breakfast. And I'm not going to deny her her breakfast. I'll give her her breakfast. You want to say hi to everybody? Say good morning to everybody? Huh? Yes, no, maybe? You just want breakfast. Okay. I'll get you your breakfast then.
There's Ed putting the holes in for the bolts for the gate. And not a very good picture, but I'll show what it is. Hold on. Say it again.
The last bolt. A little fluid film where the weld is so it don't rust out later.
We'll get up close and personal for you.
Throw a washer and a nut on it, tighten it up. If I can keep killing myself on the rock.
Not very good at this video. It's short and quick, and I always send it to Bruce. And then I send it to Ed.
So Bruce always knows what's going on.
Bruce knows what's going on all the time.
Hey, I was going to show you part of it coming down here, but yeah, it made it. And now it's on. It's not quite level. This end's a little higher than the other end. Of course, it's a lot lower on the other post, or a lot higher on the other post too. It's right at the top. I thought I was going to have to make another bracket to go into the top of the post. But what I did, used the slings and put one right here on that fork and the other out here on the end of the extension. And I just came in here, parked on about maybe a 35, 40 degree angle and swung it right in place. Only thing I did do to get it centered in the hole was I give it a little tug that direction, and it's close enough to center. I ain't gonna get the tape out to measure it. And looks a lot closer at this side to the ground, simply because both the poles we put in, the big end's on this end. This is the end that takes the brunt of the water when it comes over. So this end needed to be the stronger end for both of them. But say, there it is. And oh, geez. fire my painter. Look at that, she missed. I don't dare tell her, she's on the other side of the skid steer. And the pins are in there really tight because I put this one in first and then had to lower the other end to get it close, which of course put this one in a bind. And the other end, you only hold these things so flat to the post, and once you tighten the bolts up, they pull it around. So that pulled it even tighter. Bottom one's just finished up. I think Becky got a little clip of that for you. Me drilling the very last hole there on the bottom. So there it is. It's off. Might be off 3/4 of an inch from level, from end to end. Maybe. So it's damn close. A lot closer than that one is, but that one's been there a few years and sagged out. So now to go check a whole bunch of fence that hasn't been looked at yet and make sure that things got hooked up on the new stuff, and maybe get some cows out today. This group will only have this part of the lane to the wires that are not hooked up over here yet, for right now anyway. We'll let them clean it up, and then I'll get the gates done up above. Then we'll let them have that part of the lane. And with the numbers in this group, this will last them seriously probably 3 days. And then probably move them out there. There's quite a bit of grass over there. The horses have this all winter long. You know, there's only 40 acres here, and let's have the horses have about 8 of it all year. The cows get in there like 2 or 3 times just to knock it down. And the horses spend a lot of time here, obviously. That's why there's nothing there but weeds. But right across the creek, that looks about as good as a hayfield does. Actually took hay off that last year for the very first time ever. And you probably can't see it, but there's a slight breeze out of the north, so I'm watching the pollen float across the top of the grass. It's always good for you. Oh well, that's a long enough portion. I'll show you something else later. Interesting one for you. That dirty spot on the roof. That was a swallow's nest. It was there before we went in for lunch. Number one's out checking some fence that hadn't been checked yet. And she texts me and says, that nest is gone. And there's no sign of it. Well, actually there is a little sign of it. But that's not the whole nest. Interesting. It can't be the whole nest. So, just thought I'd show you that. I mean, the others are here. When I walked out here, one of the birds was sitting on top of that light fixture. All the others are here though. And they're buzzing around everywhere. Well, the end of another day. Cows aren't out yet. We didn't get all the fence checked. Between the falls and the new corner we put in, there was a few more broken off insulators. Got that fixed up. Got one little issue at the end of the bullpen where it hooks to go to the bridge. She had the Gallagher tester down there, and she says, I got 6.7 on the bottom wire. Okay. The other wires she had like 3. They're all connected together. So I don't know. But I think everything's ready to actually go through, hook up, and check power on. Got all the obvious issues taken care of, at least on that part of the run. It goes from the bridge to the top of the hill and across the hayfield to across the creek down here below the barn. And she thought it needed to get hooked up on the far side of the hayfield to run the line. No, cows aren't going to be in the hayfield right now. At least they better not be. But I figured I'd show you some of these little buggers. You know, not like you don't get to see them once in a while. This one will probably eat the camera. What do you think, bud? Really? Are you sure? Oh, hello. Hello, how are you? Yes, good and you? Yeah, good and you? Hi. He's not a spoiled little bugger at all, is he? Not at all. Oh well. 80 plus degrees, probably about 85% humidity. All you gotta do is stand here for a minute and you're sweat head to toe. So I'm gonna go find a cool spot, find a cool drink. Thanks for watching, everybody.